Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot in Pagan Perspective. This week we're talking about genderqueer or agender in paganism. This week's topic comes from The World According to Allie, who writes, "Hello, I am Allie. I have a great interest in paganism. It seems to attract me. My father is from Ireland and I do share the beliefs in the little people, leprechauns and fairies as many of my family has since all known memory. But I am no longer male, while I am not truly female. In transition, I have found solace with things. Can you address something along the lines of this? I feel there may not be a place for me." Okay, for one, I want to just, and I can't stress this enough, there is a place for you. Paganism, especially for me, has been more of an accepting group than Christianity in general. So that's why I incorporated a lot of paganism into my Christian background. So that's why I became a Christo-pagan. It's very incorporating and inviting to people of any gender or any I don't want to say sexual preference or anything like that, because it's not really a preference, but you get the point. It's very, accepting of everybody, of any race, color, origin, or sexual orientation. So, with that being said, I can't really speak too much on the transitioning point because I have not gone through that. It's not something that really speaks to me or is something that I necessarily will or have the inkling to go towards. So I can't really speak on that as much, but I do know that there are a lot of resources. I just Googled it and I found a lot of resources for transgendered pagans or transitioning pagans that will actually talk and help with you. Different blogs, different social organizations or social groups that are on the internet. So if there's not one near you, at least you have kind of that sounding board between you and them. However, I can speak on the homosexuals out there, the gays in particular, not necessarily as much with the lesbians because I'm not lesbian, so anywho, and I really can't speak as much to the bisexuals out there because I'm not bisexual, so specifically to the gay men out there, I can suggest a few books. The one that I have recently read is by Michael Thomas Ford, Gay Men, Wicca, and Living the Magical Path, or Magical Life, I'm sorry. The Path of the Green Man. This is actually kind of like a Wicca 101 type book. However, I love at the end of each chapter, he gives a different turning of the wheel of the year and how the main character, the Green Man in this particular instance, goes through each turning of the wheel. And I found that incredibly fascinating. I'm not a big one on the myth and legends and stuff like that, or as much as, seeking out those different legends. But this one I found really fascinating and exciting to read, just the last segments of the chapters. So, if anything else, I would suggest it just for the last segments of the chapters, where it has the myth that he goes through. And that was actually a really enjoyable read for that in particular, even though it is more of a Wicca 101 type book. And he also does give a lot of different suggestions for gay men in particular. So, I do recommend that even if you have been on your path for a while. The next one I have not read, however, I will stand by Christopher Penczak, Gay Witchcraft, Empowering the Tribe. I will stand by him because I know he's a good author, and I do fully intend to read this one. However, whenever it comes to Christopher Penczak, I do find his books a little harder to read because he does go into a lot of depth, which is great. However, whenever I just want to read something and not necessarily go in depth into every little nuance of, the background behind everything, it does get a little bit crazy in my brain to read some of his stuff. So his stuff is a little bit more of an advanced read, at least the way I see it. So not as easy of a read, but like I said, I do suggest anything by Christopher Penczak. So those are just 2 resources that I have on hand here in Korea with me. I want to say I have 1 or 2 other resources. I'm not even sure about this. I may just be, completely wrong on this. I think I might have a couple more in storage right now. But those are the 2 that I can recommend offhand that I can remember. So, in particular to the gay men out there, that works for you. But like I said, if you Google transgendered pagans or transitioning pagans, something to that effect, you'll find a plethora of support groups, the blogosphere, social organizations type deal. You'll find those out there. So I can't stress enough that you do have a place in the pagan community, especially if it's something that jives with your current beliefs. So if the beliefs are something that you are holding sacred to yourself, there's no reason why you cannot find a place in the pagan community. And there's no reason why the pagan community should not embrace you with the full accepting ness of as a human being. So that's about all that I have on there. On a little bit of another note, I did want to mention that shamans, back whenever shamans were more revered than what they are today, not that they're not revered, just that they're not as common today. Shamans were generally, they were generally more gay, lesbians, kind of, transqueer, if I'm using that term correctly. If I'm not, please correct me, because I hate using terms incorrectly. But they were more revered. Those were your more common shamans out there, and they were looked more upon as, revered people. So anyway, I'm going to try to edit this down if need be and post it up, because I know this is going to be posted up late on Monday. I tried to do it before going to work, and it just did not come out great. So I'm going to try to get this up and posted for you guys. Until next week, may you have a great day and a better tomorrow. And love, hugs, and ladybugs. And if you're following me on my personal channel, I will be getting videos up soon, because my voice is actually good enough to actually do videos now. So not hurting as much. So I will be getting videos up and updating my blog and all that stuff. So follow me down in the bottom bar. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.